Okay, I guess we'll go ahead and get started. Looks like we are up and running. Glad to have people here today. Uh, my name is Vanessa Convart. I work with the Division of Aging, and I'm representing FSSA today to talk to you about the level of care representative process, which is going to have some changes coming July 1st, 2025. These slides are being presented by the Bureau of Disability Services, which is part of the Division of Disability and Rehabilitative Services. We thank you very much for your time and for attending today's webinar about the level of care assessment representative process, also referred to as LCAR. This webinar will be recorded and posted to the DDARS website for future reference. Additional resources and tools will also be available on the FSSA website under the LCAR tab. And before the end of this presentation, you will have the information on how to find those resources. Today, we will provide an introduction to the level of care assessment representative process, which begins on July 1st. This includes the waiver program served by the LCAR vendor, a summary of the changes taking place, the roles and responsibilities of the LCAR vendor, as well as the role of the Aging and Disability Resource Centers, also known as ADRCs, an overview of options counseling support, and information on who to contact for future questions. All right, let's talk about this LCAR process and give a quick introduction to how this works. Individuals who are currently enrolled in and receiving health and wellness, traumatic brain injury, or pathways for aging waivers will receive a letter from FSSA, from the Family Social Services Administration. This notice explains that their reassessment will be completed by a level of care assessment representative, or LCAR, vendor beginning July 1st, 2025. The notice also addresses common questions that individuals may have, such as what the process entails and who the assessor may be, as well as whether the individual needs to take any action upon receiving the notice. For the rules of our home and community-based service waiver programs served, this includes health and wellness waiver, traumatic brain injury waiver, and pathways for aging waiver. The eligibility criteria for nursing facility level of care remains the same. That is not changing on July 1st. The change on July 1st is who will be able to assess the nursing facility level of care eligibility. Waiver service plans will continue to be developed, coordinated, and monitored by health and wellness waiver and traumatic brain injury case managers, as well as pathways for aging waiver managed care service coordinators. Before July 1st, 2025, the Aging and Disability Resource Centers, ADRC, area agencies on aging, AAAs, or independent case management organizations have been assessing initial or reevaluations for nursing facility level of care and waiver service planning. Beginning July 1st, 2025, health and wellness and traumatic brain injury case managers and pathways for aging managed care service coordinators will have access to determinations. This will allow for the development of service plans and service/care coordination for individuals receiving waiver services. Pathways for Aging managed care service coordinators will additionally submit assessment data to Maximus. Maximus will review the completed chat, which is what we call that assessment data, and decide for the nursing facility level of care. So what is nursing facility level of care? You may also have heard of this referred to as NFLOC or NFLOC. There are a couple of different ways you may have heard it. The Health and Wellness Waiver, Traumatic Brain Injury Waiver, and Pathways for Aging Waiver eligibility criteria, again, remains in effect after July 1st, 2025. Individuals must demonstrate a need for nursing facility level of care outlined within 405 IAC 1-3-1, and 405 IAC 1-3-3. So that's the Indiana Administrative Code, and that can be found on the web if you would like to go in and read the entire code. But the piece about nursing facility level of care, which is in, again, 405 IAC 1-3-1 and 1-3-3, states individuals are impacted by medical conditions and needs that may require a level of care comparable to what would be received in a nursing facility, or individuals' medical condition and needs require ongoing monitoring and treatment from skilled professionals. Individuals must have a significant functional limitation that impacts either their physical, cognitive, or behavioral health issues. Cognitive impairments may include significant memory deficits, impaired or limited judgment, and limited executive function and follow through. Physical impairments may include difficulties with mobility, self-care, or activities of daily living, also known as ADLs, that impact life domains. Behavioral health issues may include challenges with behavioral management that include aggression, elopement, impulse control issues, or other symptoms that require support and supervision. So what is changing beginning July 1st, 2025? The eligibility for nursing facility level of care does remain unchanged and will continue as it is today. The vendor responsible for assessing and completing eligibility is changing. From the Aging and Disability Resource Center, Area Agency on Aging, Independent Care Management Agencies, and Pathways for Aging Managed Care Entities, to Maximus, who will be the LCAR vendor. Maximus will be reaching out to schedule eligibility assessments for all waivers starting on July 1st, 2025. And what can you expect from that LCAR vendor known as Maximus? Maximus will complete assessments within 7 calendar days of the request. Maximus will complete recommendations that will include either an approval or denial of nursing facility level of care within 11 calendar days from when the assessment request has been submitted. Nursing facility level of care eligibility recommendations will be submitted by Maximus to the Family and Social Services Administration for final determination, stating whether the individual meets the nursing facility level of care or does not meet this level of care. Maximus will mail a determination notice to the individual once FSSA approves the recommendations. If an individual does not meet the nursing facility level of care, they have the right to appeal the decision. So how long are those assessments valid and what happens next? Nursing facility level of care eligibility is good for up to 1 year after the final determination. 90 days prior to the end of the nursing facility level of care, Maximus will contact the waiver individual to schedule a reassessment. If an individual is being assessed initially and there is a waiver waiting list, eligibility needs to be determined for placement. Maximus will assess the nursing facility level of care, and if it meets the requirements, the individual will be provided with guidance on how to proceed with waiver waiting list placement. Once the individual is invited from the wait list, they will be reassessed. So let's talk about the role of the Aging and Disability Resource Centers, or ADRCs. The Aging and Disability Resource Centers will continue to be available to all individuals through options counseling, which includes but is not limited to community information and resources. ADRCs will be able to provide options counseling to individuals receiving the traumatic brain injury or health and wellness waiver who are under age 60. ADRCs are also still available to offer Medicaid application assistance, helping individuals understand the process for accessing long-term services and supports. They connect individuals to Maximus for nursing facility level of care assessments, support individuals with waiver waiting list placement, and update information while waiting on an invitation from the waiting list. a little bit more of an understanding about that options counseling support piece. The options counselors are here to support and guide anyone looking for waiver services or community resources. This service is available to all individuals and is not specific to waiver services. It is not specific to any particular waiver, nor does it have to be somebody who is seeking waiver services. To find local aging and disability resource centers, the slide provides a web link and phone number to help you locate the information. Options counseling is an interactive process in which individuals receive guidance regarding access to waiver services. The individual directs the process and may include others of that person's choosing. Options counselors will provide a person-centered approach to supporting individuals in understanding and navigating their options for support. ADRCs are also still available to offer Medicaid application assistance and help individuals understand the process for accessing long-term services and support. They connect individuals to Maximus for nursing facility level of care assessments, support individuals with waiver waiting list placement, and update information while waiting for an invitation from the waiting. These next couple of slides may be the most important slides of today's presentation. This is the contact information for the level of care assessment representative vendor, Maximus. We encourage you to check out the website and keep this information handy in case you ever need to get a hold of the help desk about a nursing facility level of care, or trying to access an ADRC, or trying to access any services. This is another excellent resource for LCAR information. This website has the FSSA fact sheets, the frequently asked questions document, and updated information for LCAR. And this is through the DDARS website. We also have information for you on how to contact the Bureau of Disabilities, the Office of Medicaid Policy and Planning, or the Division of Family Resources if you have any questions about their programs, which are listed here. Any questions that you may have can be directed to this email address, which is bds.help@fssa.in.gov. So beads.help@fssa.in.gov. Please direct your questions to the BEADS help desk at that email address. An FAQ, a frequently asked questions document, will be developed with this information. So we do encourage you to email us questions if you have them, because we find that if one person has a question, probably more people have the same question, and we want to make sure to get those answered for you in a convenient way. And of course, as said before, those FAQs can be found at the LCAR website on the DDARS webpage. We thank you so much for attending this webinar. Again, for any questions, please email beads.help@fssa.in.gov. An FAQ will be developed regarding all received questions. Thank you so much for your time and your participation.